So after standing all day working on that tunnel section, I needed a project I could sit down at my desk and work at for a bit. And so today we're working on the city garden expansion. I think I got all the parts to do that and get that all lit up and done. And then I can get that sealed up and ready to go for some figs. So let's go ahead and work on that today. All right, so here's where we're at currently. Ignore the random parts. As I get parts for projects that I know are unfinished, I tend to just kind of like throw them on here. So I got some new butterflies to add in here. I got lots of bees and I got some paintbrushes. I thought I might be able to make a fun flower out of these. So I'm definitely going to experiment with that a little bit, especially in this kind of open area. And I have the crates to fix this. I have the tail pieces for this. And so I have lots of things to work on this today. So let's jump into that. I'm going to go grab a couple more pieces and we'll get going. Okay, so got the beehives all set up here. I finally got the white crates in. I think those look way better than the tan crates. For beehives, we got a bunch more bees, and I still have more bees that I can put around. But at least that's a pretty good start there. And then I got this first tree done. Y'all, if you're not using these bike handlebar pieces for tree branches, you're doing it wrong. They are so easy to make things kind of like these two here. Well, these two here are on that handlebar piece right there, and it just makes it really nice and wide and flat. It just looks really good. I'm really happy with how this tree turned out. Again, this gave me an opportunity to put a bee down here. I'm trying out this as well. This is one of the paintbrushes. So I kind of like that kind of look. I thought about just making a kind of, just putting a bunch kind of stuck in some leaves and stuff kind of in here. Just as kind of like a little flower that hasn't opened yet. And so that will kind of fill in this area here. Still need to work on this tree and the tree in the back, which is what's next. Okay, got the rest of the trees and foliage kind of built out. I built this little kind of cool area, again, using these paintbrushes with this cool butterfly. I thought that was kind of cute little area. I still probably need to add something over here, but I'm going to go ahead and get lighting in. So I don't usually add lighting as I'm going because I feel like lighting kind of commits you to something or commits you to kind of a size of stuff. And so I didn't want to do that because I wanted to be able to just kind of move along and not be so worried about running wires and lighting and all that while I'm just trying to build out trees, especially trees, because trees need to be somewhat random. And I think sometimes I get too bogged down in trying to run wires and stuff that I don't think about the randomness that it needs to be. And so I don't do lighting as I'm building trees especially, but as I'm building in general. And so I think I'm ready to add lights. What do y'all think about this dark green tree without any of the leaf pieces? So this one doesn't have a lot of leaf pieces. This one obviously has a lot of leaf pieces. But I actually don't have many of the dark green leaf pieces, and all the other green leaf pieces looked weird on it. And so I also just kind of wanted something a little bit thinner back there, maybe a little bit different looking than the rest of the trees. And so I thought maybe that was some of the little flower pieces kind of made a distinct different look. And I also wanted it to be green because there's a lot of pink in the garden, and I didn't feel like I needed more pink to be added into the garden. And that was just a different color palette that I wanted to make sure I kind of added in. And I think that adds a nice little contrast. So I think we're ready to add some lights. I'm going to add some lights underneath these little areas in here and lights all up through the trees. And then I'll add some more details. So let's grab some lights and get going on that. You know, sometimes it's skill and sometimes it's just sheer dumb luck. So I had to put some sort of junction point here in the middle of this. I'm going to have to put another junction point back here. But I was like, shoot, I don't know how I'm going to hide all of this. So I'm looking through my thing. And then I find this piece. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. Now how am I going to get... Oh, wait, snot brick. And so... Whoops, I can't do this with one hand. And so I found a snot brick to stick in there. and this whole thing will just cover right over it perfectly. And it looks like that. So once I get all the rest of the foliage in here, you're not even going to see this is like distinctly different than all the rest of it. And it sits in there perfectly and hides everything. So that was dumb luck and awesome. Moving on. Okay, so I got everything lit. I got all the areas kind of filled in. I think what's going to work for me. Got some animals placed in here. I got some foliage added. Kind of filled in all the blank spots. Again, as I mentioned before when I was getting stuff ready for Brick World, I said it's funny how blank space looks really weird in here. So I made sure that all of the ground was at least mostly covered. Like I left a little bit of space around here. But, you know, a lot of it is definitely covered with foliage. And, yeah. So I think this is ready to get placed in the city. I'm excited to see kind of everything all lit up. And I'm going to see if I need to add more lights in this area. We'll see once it's all lit up. I didn't want to overdo it with lights because I think you can definitely overdo it. But I'm thinking that this area, actually this whole pathway here might be a little dark. So let's get this place in the city. And I'll get the lights turned on and turn off the overhead lights and kind of see what it looks like all together. All right, y'all ready to see this? How cool is that? Oh my gosh, I absolutely love this. I think it's just the right amount of light. It's hard to see on camera because it obviously does the autofocus and auto light and all of that. But the pathways are just kind of lit dimly with all the foliage being lit. And it just looks great. Like it's just the right amount of light, I think, for everything. It's not overly bright on anything. The blue water really shines back there inside the Ninjago cave, and it just makes a really nice kind of color contrast. You got kind of the yellows, the pinks, and the blues, and the kind of lighter colors over here. I think it's just a really pretty mix of colors. Well, this turned out significantly better than I expected. Obviously, I got this, and if you didn't notice, if you're following along, I finally got the back garden plugged in so that it's lit up as well. Yeah, this works out really well. The only thing I think I might change at some point is I might light that pine tree in the back. I think the pine tree needs a little bit of light, just kind of in that back corner a little bit. Just looks a little dark compared to everything else. But you know, that might also change once I actually get this street lit as well. It might change my mind as well about that. But for right now, I think this is done. Check this off the list of projects, and on to the next thing. I don't know what that next thing is, but it's on to something. Make sure you like and subscribe and stay tuned for some more, because there's plenty to be done. Thanks, y'all.